At least, yeah. All right, you're good.
All right.
Hey guys, on the stream, can you guys hear us?
Perfect. Cool. Awesome, guys. Yeah, UT till I die. Absolutely. Well, welcome everybody to the chat. Today is December 23rd, 2020. Merry early Christmas to you guys. And really, we just want to say thank you everybody for joining us. And we have something really special planned for you guys today. And we have one of our oh, I'm echoing. Wait one sec. Is that better? Does everybody hear an echo or is that better? That's better? Cool. Awesome. Rock on, guys. Perfect. Well, welcome again to our lesson for the day today. We have Marty today that's going to be providing you guys with a really good lesson on really how to manage um, personal things with your long-term strategies and how to make sure that you can set yourself up for success going into the future. So let's go ahead and get started. And if you guys have any questions, just either put them in the chat or ask us, you know, at the end. So cool. All right. So you guys, behind every trader is a great trader is a team. And we're going to go over a little bit over UT and what it is. And if you're new here, welcome. And if you've been with us for a while, you guys kind of know the drill. We're very passionate about teamwork. If you always see us all on the chat all the time, we talk about the dream team. And we really want to make sure that you guys um, get everything you need out of UT that you would get out of somewhere else that people would ask you to pay for, right? We don't. Our motto here is you pay it forward, and as long as you guys are putting in the effort and the additional energy to give back to the community, that's all we ask for. And so the leadership team here at UT is very passionate about making sure that you guys are set up for success for your future and understand all possible ways for you to be able to do this successfully. Um, and so, again, we appreciate you guys being here. And today's lesson is going to be core skills for longevity and success. So, um, UT itself, you guys, um, we really want to work similar to a hedge fund, right? We want to do the things that these big companies and corporations do to be able to build long-lasting wealth. And the way we do that is really by working together to identify opportunities that can make us all successful and doing it the right way, fundamentally and technically. And we really want to bring Wall Street to Main Street. And we always ask you guys, are you guys ready? Because we are starting this new generation of wealth builders, and you guys are all a part of that. And so we are going to be the new of this stock trading game and investing game, and you guys are all part of it now. So, and what makes us great, you guys? We're team oriented, right? We really focus on building up each other versus focusing only on ourselves. We like to swing trade. We have state of the art tools and proprietary information that gives us the edge in the market, and then give you education lessons like this. In macroeconomics. We have portfolios and we have trade ideas. We have a proprietary scanner that works great. So it's fantastic. And how do you start, you guys? You guys are already here. Join the community on Discord. Follow us on social media. We have tons and tons of social media outlets that you guys can join us in. And then help us spread the word. The more people, the better. We want to make sure, if we can bring somebody new in that has an additional strength that can give, something extra to our community, that's great. That's really what we're looking for. The more people we bring in the more people we have that can complement what we're trying to do here, and it's game changing. So please, please, please spread the word. And a quick disclaimer, guys, before we get started, go ahead and read it. UT is not responsible for any investment things that you guys take from us. We're not financial advisors. You're not paying us. Take these trades at your own risk. The recommendations that we make are really just us doing our research and sharing it with you guys. So please do everything at your own risk, because we are not responsible for any trading decisions that you guys make. So, all right, cool. So you guys, I'd like to introduce Marty to you guys. Marty's going to be doing our presentation today. You guys know him by Mr. Bang Bang. Marty is a specialist in technical analysis, volume analysis. You've seen him recently really put in some really good swings in our swing chats. He's been doing a lot of work on the side while he's going to school and trying to get his degree as well. So Marty's been trading for about 8 months now, and over the first few months, he's learned so much, and his learning curve has been phenomenal. And especially me coming in a little bit after him, I really looked up to him in a sense that, wow, this guy learned quickly. How did he do it? So he's almost a professional soccer player. I'm not 100% sure, what that means, but he's almost there. So, well, I guess we'll have to watch some soccer videos after we're done and see what the hype is about. And then he chose to pursue other career goals and gain independence by moving to the U.S. So obviously he's looks like he's Middle Eastern. And so it's very important for people when they don't have this opportunity and they take that risk to come to the United States, and they really put in the passion and the energy to make something of themselves. And you can tell by the way Marty really presents himself that that's something that's really valuable for him. So cool. Well, I will go ahead and pass this over to Marty. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. And again, thank you guys for joining in, and we'll talk to you guys after we're all done. Marty, it's all yours.
Thank you, Drados. Let me just go ahead and share my screen, and we should be getting started. So once again, thank you everyone for joining in today. It means a lot. This lesson shouldn't take too long. It's one of the shorter lessons, but I think this could provide a lot of value to some people. I do know we have a lot of members that are younger and still go to school. Some of them probably work, and just balancing life as it hits you is something that not most people know how to do, or some people struggle with it, and everyone deals with stress. So the goal is to minimize stress as much as possible through time management and a couple of things that I'm going to be speaking about today. So me personally, I juggle trading with full-time school. I have a full-time job as well right now. And then we all have personal aspirations of creating our own business or doing something on the side. Like me, I was going to be a professional soccer player at one point in my life. Not currently. That was before I moved back to the United States. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So here's a couple of the points that we're going to be speaking about today. So the first one being time management, the second being money management, the third being balancing a social life and work life, and setting priorities. Lastly, we have setting goals. So all of these will pertain to the discussion as to how it would improve your quality of life in general. So let's dive in. Time management. Time management is something I learned at a really young age from my dad. I've seen my dad juggle multiple jobs at the same time, and I've always wondered to myself, how does someone possibly do that? It seemed so complex to me, and I never really got how he would manage his time and how he would allocate his time and resources towards each of them equally, or is one more important than the other. So learning that at a young age has helped me out a lot. So when you learn how to manage time, the key thing you'll get out of it is efficiency. Efficiency, it as it relates, it's to the overall output of your efforts, and you can get more done when you're being efficient. It's just plain and simple. Uh, People that just waste a couple hours a day just sitting on their phones, you'll notice that when you mention to them that you're doing multiple things, uh, they're gonna be like, how do you get so much done in a day? It's because you're not on your phone. It's because you're actually putting in your time and hard work into things that matter to you. So for those in school specifically, efficiency will allow you to balance multiple things without worrying about the stress of the heavy workload, from homework to going to class, to dealing with the commute if you have a commute, because I know a lot of people drive anywhere from an hour to 2 hours to go to school. And that's one key thing. If you have to go to the gym, wake up at 5 in the morning, go get it done. If you have to do homework before class, make sure you allocate time to that. Just all of those things in general will lead to the end goal, in which is becoming successful. Oh, I did not even know there's those two pictures there. My bad. So now let's move on next to money management. So money management, I was curious about this in the beginning when it comes to trading. About do you just reinvest into your account? Do you just stay with the initial like gains that you make? And I've learned this from TJ and multiple other members, that if you have a job while trading, make sure you allocate a certain dollar amount to reinvest into your account and add on to it every month. Just a set amount. It could be anything, $100, $200, whatever it is. Because when you keep adding and funding your account, you're funding your own success, and you're believing in yourself. You're saying that you can ultimately become a successful trader, and down the line you will notice that once you put yourself first, you'll definitely reap the benefits, I think, personally. And then when it comes to work earnings as well, be frugal on yourself. Don't buy things you don't need. And instead of spending on yourself, invest in your future. And that relates to the prior point that I was making of investing a certain amount every month. I personally don't like purchasing big things because it's a waste of money. It's money that's just sitting there. For example, if it's an expensive watch, an expensive wallet, a ring, whatever it could be, it's just going to sit there and collect dust. I know you're going to be using it every here and there, and sometimes, I mean, it's going to make you feel better. But would you rather feel better, or would you rather have that money growing and working for you? Because when you have it invested, it's just going to grow over time, no matter what, as long as you're making the right decisions. So yeah, that's about money management. Moving on to the next point here. The key thing for most people is balancing a social life and a work life. And I know it could be tough. It sounds a little difficult to most, but it isn't. In general, it's just not something that you should think too hard and long about. The first thing is you just have to know when to say no to plans. Not everything is important. If you have work the next morning at 6 and your friends tell you, hey, let's go hang out, and it's like 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night, you know you're not going to be home until like midnight, maybe even 1, 2 in the morning. So that way you're costing yourself sleep, you're costing yourself the rest that you need to be productive and efficient. So know when to say no to plans. And I'm not saying don't hang out with people at all. Just make sure it's at a proper time. which leads to the second point here. Just make sure you set time aside for friends and family. I feel if you completely shut yourself off from any like social interactions, or you're just in that 24/7 grind mode, where you just brush everyone off and you're like, oh no, I can't hang out. I have stuff to do. I have work to do. In the long run, you're gonna see that it's gonna affect your mental health, and it just won't work out. You're gonna find yourself getting in your head too much. So balancing a social and work life will definitely go a long way. Um, so let's go moving on to the next slide. Priorities and how to identify and organize them. So make sure this is the most important thing I believe to take out of this short lesson today. Write down a list of everything that's going on in your life right now and order them from most important to least important. Once you do that, you're going to be able to identify where you need to allocate most of your energy and where you need to allocate a little bit less. And it'll allow you to make smart decisions based on if you have multiple tasks at hand for multiple different obligations or priorities. What should you start with first? Like for me, for example, believe it or not, trading right now is almost near the bottom of my my priority list, because I know I could do this at my own leisure time. It's not something that I have to per se do every single day, but the stuff for me that are at the top are schools, number one. Number two is work, making sure I show up, making sure I prove to people that I mean business. I'm not coming around here to play. I need to put in the effort, and those two the most. And then you can have your side hustles, your business aspirations, anything else comes below that for me. And also you have your hobbies in there, you have other stuff, but we're talking about priorities here, so make sure you have that in place. And then this is something that I made up myself a while ago, and it's called the drive and strive mode. So the drive and strive mode, the key, like the, how can I say, it's the definition behind it, or what it truly means to me, is you start with the drive, because you can't strive without a drive. When you drive, that means that you're constantly grinding. You know where you're at in life and what your priorities are. You know how to allocate your time and energy to the most important things. And you always work towards the future goals that you have for yourself. This means when you're in that specific drive mode, you don't let any distractions affect you from outputting your full 100% undivided energy to whatever you need to. And this will help you go a long way. Then you can move on to the strive part of this. And then striving, we'll talk about this a little bit later. Everyone should have a certain plan for themselves in life. Whether you're young, whether you're a little bit older, you should know where you want to be in the next 5 to 10 years. And I constantly tweak this. I have a list in my notes somewhere that I don't show anyone. It's just between me and myself of where I want to be in 5 to 10 years, what I want to have accomplished, and just in general where I'm at in life. And just make sure, the key thing is make sure you like what you're doing in life, or else you will lose drive. But then when that drive aspect is in place, just work towards those goals that you have, and don't be afraid to be ambitious with those goals, because you always have time to push towards them. So let's move on to the last point here. So this last point is goal setting. Goal setting is something I value very, very much, in the sense that I'm a goal driven person. Without a specific end result for something, like, okay, say my end result for school is getting a job in software engineering or in the computer science field. My goal for trading is just to constantly be a successful and profitable trader on a month to month basis. And eventually I want to keep that even at a longer term period, on a year to year. So goal setting is key. And then here we go. It's important that you have a long 5 to 10 year plan for yourself. So analyze what you're doing right now in life and see how it's going to apply for you in 5 to 10 years. The best advice I can give someone my age, for those who know my age, for those who don't, I'm 22 years old. The 5 to 10 year plan has helped me out a lot, and it will help in the strive phase. Envisioning what you want to be or where you want to be at will remind you during the stressful times why you're doing what you're doing. Because I've seen a lot of people over the past couple of years of me really growing in the work industry, at school, go through a phase where they're always stressed. And I've always reminded them, just know why you're doing this. Look at the end result. It's going to be tough. Like, life's not easy. Things are going to get rough. There's going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be roadblocks, but you just have to prepare for them. It's all about how you prepare for them. And if you're prepared, those roadblocks will be nothing. You're going to push right through them. So it's really, really, I can't stress this enough. When you look at the longer term picture and you set those goals up for yourself, you won't let anything stop you, especially if you're motivated. And then lastly, make sure you're working towards those goals on your 5 to 10 year plan on a day-to-day basis. Don't waste time. It's okay to have days off here and there. I'm not saying don't have any days off at all, or times where you go on a vacation or something like that. But don't allow it to take over your mental and put you in a state of relaxation. You have to relax sometimes, but you have to also know when enough is enough and it's time to get back to work. In the end, that 5-year plan won't work towards itself. So believe in yourself. Make sure you're allocating proper time to what needs to be focused on. And let's do this together, guys. We're growing as a community. I'm seeing new faces by the day, especially since I've been gone for the past month from the group. I've just been on and off. I know we can do this as a team and work together, help each other out. And trust me, we're just at the tip of the iceberg here. There's so much more to achieve and to go forward with. I'm proud of each and every one of you guys, and keep grinding. Thank you all for joining.
Awesome. Thanks, Marty. All right, guys, do we have any questions for Marty before we jump off?
Oh yeah, feel free to post questions in that trading chat or in the comment section on YouTube.
We'll give it about 3 minutes here for questions and see if anything pops up.
And I don't have the YouTube chat pulled up, the comment section. So if anything pops up there, just feel free to read it to me.
Just some comments here. I'll just read them out loud. Lots of thank yous. So here's a question. So Marty, what is the most difficult aspect of trading for you? So
for me, the most difficult part, and I've said this before a couple times in the past. I remember when I first started, I would always bug TJ, and when I had voice activities, I don't know who gave me voice permissions. When I had voice permissions when I first joined UT, I would go on voice and just constantly ask TJ about the stock that I'm in. So the biggest barrier for me was being patient. And I remember talking to Drados about this when he first started trading. And being patient is one thing that has made me from a C level trader to an A plus level trader. Patience is something that if you don't have when trading, you're gonna find yourself looking for unnecessary and unwarranted plays. You're gonna be because day trading in general, you're gonna be sitting at your desk for most of the time or wherever you trade from. And when you're not in a trade, you're just gonna be like, oh my God. And you see people posting in the chat, okay, I'm seeing these guys making money. Why am I not in trades? Why am I not making money? And you're gonna rush into something that's in hindsight not a good play. It's not a good trade, and then you're gonna lose money. And that's gonna take a toll on you too. And that's gonna be like, damn, why are they making money and I'm not making money? Is there something I'm doing wrong? But patience was number one. And I think a trader without patience is not going to go too far. And that's personally what I think. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Now I'll add to that. I think outside of that too, when you're in a trade, right? I think we all jump into these swing positions or these long positions that look really great, fundamentally and technically. And because we don't see movement, for the first few days, but then we see people in chat and their swings are finally moving, automatically our mind is like, okay, well, let me jump out, let me try to catch this, right? But what you guys don't remember is, especially with TJ, a lot of the trades that he posts that his swings are working out, he's been holding those positions for weeks, right? Sometimes even months, and now they're working out. And so you guys got to remember that the time, ask a little bit more information when somebody's in a swing and all of a sudden they're, 30, 40% on their calls or they're up profits, ask them, how long have you been holding that swing for, right? Really understand the time it takes for stuff to start moving, because it's very unlikely that you buy a swing on a Monday and Tuesday it moves. It happens sometimes, but it doesn't happen often. So just be very patient, and to Marty's point. So Marty, we have another question. Marty, when something bad happens in life, how does this affect your trading? What is your strategy to deal with the psychological stuff that impacts you?
So for those that caught me when I was saying, this is about 2 months ago, I want to say, or 2.5 months ago, where I had to take a little break away from the group and away from trading in general for some family issues and personal issues. When it's an issue that will kind of hinder your performance, just let it go. Just drop trading just for a little bit. If it's not something that you rely on for income on a day-to-day basis, or just something that you're not fully relying on, you have a full-time job that you can lean back on. So yeah, I took a little break to sort out these issues and came back 10 times stronger and 10 times more motivated, just because I have a love for trading that I think helps me in a way to want to do more and want to help others. So I wanted to get back so bad. And when I did eventually come back, I saw myself, I mean, in the beginning, making the same mistakes I made when I was a beginner trader. And not to say I'm any sort of like seasoned trader at all. I've only been trading for 8 months, guys, but I was making those same little mistakes. But once I overcame those mistakes again and like realized, oh, hey, come on, you know better. The trades worked out really well. And if it's something where, like I said, if you think it would hinder your performance at all, just take a break. But if you rely on trading as a full-time job, then allocating time towards that issue and towards trading is going to be key. Don't trade for the whole day. Make sure you're taking care of what you need to take care of. And once it's all sorted out, you can come back at 100%. But until then, just limit yourself. And that goes back to patience. When you're patient and you take care of the tasks that are hitting a red flag, trading will never hit a red flag for you unless you're in like a really bad position. But once you take care of those tasks that you need to take care of, you can come back. The market's not going to go away.
And I wanted to add to that fact too. There's something that Marty has that I've noticed is that he sticks to his risk parameters. Now, Marty, as soon as he, is ready to pull that trigger, he knows where his is, whether it's, where he hits his profit target or whether it hits his stop. He doesn't hesitate in that moment because he already knows where it is. So one key fact, I think it's not just like, setting the goal, it's also following those rules that you set for yourself. Because this is all rule based. If you do not follow your rules in trading, how are you going to follow rules in life?
Exactly. Yeah, good call out, TJ. And here's another question. I think this one's a really good one. I think we deal with this every day. I actually think this is the biggest impact to losing money. And the question is how do you stay confident without getting overconfident and cocky?
So I had to learn this the hard way. There was a month where every single day I was green and profitable. And it took me to a point where I got really cocky and I over position sized and I lost a decent amount of money. So how I stopped myself from getting that cocky is taking it day by day and not letting confidence build up from the day before. Of course, you want to have confidence when you're trading. You want to be confident in your chart reading, the signals you're getting from the chart. If you think something's a good entry, but you shouldn't get cocky. Don't let yourself get caught up in the fact or in a place where okay, here's your mental like play by play. You have 5 to 10 days where you're just like very profitable, like out of the ordinary, and you start over position sizing. You start making questionable plays where you think whatever you go into will get green and will turn a profit no matter what. Once that hits and once that sets into your mental when it comes to trading, that's where you're gonna find yourself running into huge mistakes. And for some people, that's how some people blow up their accounts. For example, I know a guy that was trading Tesla when they announced that stock split news, and he made a lot of money because he was just swinging calls. So from like $10,000, he made like 50 within like a week, and he got really cocky and he was like, "Oh, no matter what, I'm gonna make money." He lost the 50,000. So don't get carried away from the day before his performance or the week before his performance. Make sure you're looking at everything day by day. And I think that's how you can overcome that.
Exactly. TJ has a rule too. One of TJ's rules is if you have a really good day, you probably shouldn't trade for a few days because that euphoric serotonin release, kind of like the first time you drink or do something, that feeling that you're trying to chase, it hasn't settled yet. And so when you have a really big win that you haven't experienced before, your body's chasing that. And if for some reason you end up losing the next day, right? If you end up losing the next day, you're going to chase that even harder, right? Because now not only did you not achieve that same feeling the next day, now the previous feeling that you had before from the day before is now also diminishing. So you're trying to get back both, right? And so just really, be grounded when you have those days. And another thing too that I would say is that really make sure that you position size small. And I know Marty just touched on this. If you position size small, then when you make mistakes, you can live the trade another day, right? That's the most important factor. Live to trade another day, and if you position size correctly, then you don't have to worry about those things. So
And I find myself, just to add on to that, I find myself going back into the conversations that me and Drados had a while back when he started trading, and just reading to remind myself of these rules that I set for myself, which is the being patient and stuff like that. Because it's always good to have a reminder, or I know some people that actually type out or write out a list of trading rules that they have for themselves. Like, for example, okay, if I'm in options and it goes against me 20%, just cut my losses, stuff like that, little things. And reading over those chats that I've had with Drados has constantly reminded me of those things that, okay, it's one thing to give advice, but it's another thing to actually apply it. So I like to keep myself in check with that.
yeah, exactly. And I say this all the time, you guys in chat. Don't try to predict the market, right? Because that's another thing that'll boost your confidence. The market can only go two directions, up or down. And so you have a 50% chance when you make a guess that it goes your way. And as a human, we're like, oh my God, I can predict this. And then now you start predicting them, trying to predict the market when the market doesn't really care what you think. Technical analysis doesn't care what you're saying. None of that stuff matters, right? So the best thing you can do is wait for the market to open, then identify the trends. Don't try to predict what the market's going to do, because if you're right, it'll really, really mess with your mind, because then you'll start making decisions before even seeing what's going to happen in the day. Right? The market's always right. You're not. So, and the fact that there's a 50% chance that you could be right makes it a lot easier to be right even when you shouldn't be. So that I would say that that's really a big thing for me was, I'd wake up and I'd say, okay, I was right. The market went up yesterday. I really think it's going to go down today. And then all of a sudden I'm short biased. And that's when I end up losing all my money, was because I'm just trying to catch these shorts when the market's on going up.
And I have a life hack to this too. So this, like I was talking to a shrink again, like performance is everything to me. So performance coaches, shrinks, anything that I can take an edge on, right? And there's one rule that they mentioned that changed my game. It's the simplest thing, guys. Write your rules down every morning. Look at yourself in the mirror and out loud repeat those rules before you touch the markets, before you even look at your portfolio. The first thing you should do is read out those rules out loud. Believe me, that little life hack really helped me memorize it, and then as soon as I tackle it every day, I'm able to follow those rules.
Exactly. And Hassian, I don't know if Hassian's here. Hassian shared with me a podcast, and it's a psychology podcast. And even if it's something like that every morning before you start trading, you'll listen to, just to remind yourself of all the dumb mistakes people make, right? Just get yourself in a habit of finding something to remind you, whether it's rules, whether it's listening to something in the morning before you start trading or before bed at night, just something to really level set you. Um, but another big thing too is you have to be okay with being wrong, right? You guys, you have to be okay with being wrong, right? When the stock's not going your direction, you don't have a stop limit set, and in your head, because you've been right the last 5 times, you're in a place where you're like, no, it's gonna move back, it's gonna move back. That's where you blow up your account. You've got to be okay with being wrong. And that's the biggest advice I can give to anybody is, tell yourself when you go into this trade, hey, this is a good place, but I may be wrong. right? Say that ahead of time. And that way, when you're wrong, it's much easier for you to pull the trigger to exit.
And here's another thing that TJ actually shared with me, and at least it helped me out a lot, was meditation. I meditate right before I go to sleep, and then once I wake up. And I feel like it puts me in a calming state of mind and allows me to perform a lot better when it comes to trading. So if you think that could help you, try it out. Trust me, even if it's just a 5 minute meditation, or you go on YouTube, you just search meditation music or whatever it is, and you do it 5 to 10 minutes before you sleep, and when you wake up, it'll go a long way.
Even in the middle of a trade, sometimes we're at the edge of our seat, palms are sweaty, you're like ready to execute the next trade. You know that you have that anticipation, that anxiety building up. Take a step back, breathe in, breathe out a couple times, recenter yourself, and then tackle it.
Exactly. And then the last question, you guys, we want to make sure you guys can get back to trading and catch the market after lunchtime. So last question here is, how often do you change your goals?
So these, I'm assuming you're speaking of the goals when it comes to like the 5-10 year plan, or just goals in general, I guess. um I don't necessarily change them completely, I tweak them. If something comes up in life that allows me to excel at a certain goal that I had, because there's always going to be multiple, you can add on another goal, or you can adjust it, reduce your time frame. Make sure you have a time frame for things too. So say, okay, I want to, you're funding your account at 200 a month, and in a year from now you want to start doubling that, and you're funding your account by 400. But then next month you hear that you're about to get a raise at work. Cool, you adjust that. You start adding on the doubling your pretty much your funding right then and there. So I would say adjust your goals based on how life hits you. Make sure when you're adding goals as well, that they align with the rest of the things you have in place.
Exactly. Cool. Awesome, guys. Well, we will. All these comments are great. So I push you guys to go through these comments. I think a lot of the stuff in here is great. Thank you again, Marty, for taking the time, and thank you, TJ, for setting this all up, and also Baron for setting this up as well. And we have more stuff in store for you guys here down the road. So again, thanks everybody for being a part of UT. We definitely appreciate all that time and effort that the entire community puts in, not just the people who present, but also the people who do things behind the scenes. And if we don't see you guys or hear from you guys over the next couple of days, happy holidays and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you guys, and have a wonderful day. Let's get back to trading.
Thank you guys, just for giving me some time of day. I know it's very valuable. And yeah, I will catch you guys probably tomorrow. I'm off to work as well.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. UT out.